rocking because we can't stop
Big summer
it.
blowout. I'm a savage.
Ooh, that boy.
Classic, bougie, and ratchet.
I'm ratchet.
I don't know the rest of the words.
I don't either, but
What's Swindle say?
we can figure it out.
I'm bassing.
He said I'm bassing.
Some
Flipping.
pitching, some flipping,
Some casting.
casting. They can't hide because I graft them.
That's right.
I'm bassing. Hey guys, welcome back to the Fish Life Podcast. I hope Chris is ready to start, but I really don't know if he is. I really don't care. My boy Chris Blackman helping me out
Hello.
on the podcast this week.
Welcome
My name's
back.
Billy Lawson, also known as your Lake Fork homie / guide.
Also a special guest, Route 44 Limeade.
Cherry limeade. You cannot go wrong with cherry limeade, my brother. Is that cherry limeade?
No, it's regular limeade.
Regular limeade.
I can't
My
do
man's
cherry.
all monkeyed up. We got to straighten him out. That's all right.
Shameless Sonic plug.
Yeah, Sonic, we are accepting sponsorships. Dude, we get sponsored by Sonic, we'll be big time.
Oh, I
I'm
can
just saying. Like, we can't even get sponsored by anything. But we get sponsored by Sonic.
Dude, we get sponsored by Sonic. The first thing we're doing is bringing the tachos back. Did you ever try them?
No, I did not try the tachos.
So basically,
I get it. It's nachos with tater tots. I saw the advertisement. I never had any.
Boy,
Never had any.
you messing up big time, Billy.
I might need to get some tachos in my life, but apparently they don't exist anymore. So we're gonna have to get sponsored by Sonic to bring tachos back. We'll work on that. Right now, we're gonna get into tonight's podcast episode,
Let's do it.
which should be fun because we are going to do. We did a fantasy draft a couple weeks ago, which was awesome.
I lost.
You lost. We forgot to film you washing Ronnie's boat.
Well, the problem was weather had that
Yeah,
deal kind of all monkeyed up. So
weather was really bad. There was thunderstorms and everything.
we'll get to that.
We will get to that. Tonight we're going to do another fantasy draft, but this one's going to be for the ultimate tournament trail.
That's right.
So we're going to pick the lake, the date, and see who can come up with the better tournament trail. Okay? And we need your vote. So listen to the podcast. So stay tuned. Don't tune out. Stay tuned. If you're thinking about clicking out, click in, stay in, hold on, strap in, and then give us your vote on which one of us comes up with the best tournament trail that you would most like to see go down. Now, we've got to do two different ones because we got an MLF and we got BASS, and that's going to affect, those formats are different. That's going to affect the type of tournament trail you do. So I say we lead off with the traditional BASS Big 5 format. You down with that?
I'm down with
We're going to
that.
lead off with that. Before we get into that, let's do what we always do.
I was thinking, say, you want to cover current conditions real quick?
Yeah. Hey, well, you've been fishing some, huh?
I have. I
What's been going on with you?
fished a little secret hammer hole the other day, and it's in really good shape.
Y'all caught some big ones.
We caught some big.
And your buddy's dad was out there, and he caught a what now?
Buddy's father-in-law caught a 10-pounder.
Caught a 10-pounder.
Same day. Everybody,
And then you went over there and immediately fished that spot and didn't catch any.
well, because they sent the picture. They sent the picture. We've been trying to get on
Yeah,
the spot all
you
day.
whole buzzed him.
Well, we've been trying to
whole
get on
buzzer,
it
Chris.
from day one.
You were whole buzzing.
From minute one.
Just own up to the fact that you were being a whole buzzer.
Look, man, I may or may not have had a drone.
Professional level whole
I
buzzer.
guarantee you, boy. Oh, man. So
Yeah,
they sent us the picture and they said, "Hey, we're heading out. This is what we caught over
they
here."
were leaving, but they caught that big
and
fish
we
on
were
the spot.
like,
Well, let's go over there.
Reggie?
And then you got broke off over there.
Got broke off over there.
Awesome. You need to tie better knots or buy better line. I don't know which one.
Well, it's throwing 20-pound cigar red. I don't know how much better it gets.
I guess you better tie better knots.
Tyler or not, can't beat it. I can't tie that Homer circle you tie.
I know.
Where you?
I'm like the only one that I know that I've ever known that ties that knot.
I mean, it. Believe me, I think they're interchangeable knots. I think they're both the strongest knot you can tie, but I just don't know how to tie that one.
I disagree, but I don't want to argue with you on a podcast.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I got a little trick with the Palomar knot.
So how'd the fishing? I mean, what did y'all catch? Y'all caught some good fish?
Yeah, everybody boated 1 over 4 pounds.
That's great. That's really great.
Biggest
That's
was
awesome.
7 out of our boats.
Out of y'all's boat.
Yeah.
Out of your boat, but then the father-in-law had the 10.
So the way we did it was,
Your buddy's father. Chris is single, ladies. For the 3 of you women that actually watch this channel, Chris
right.
is single.
That's right. Single and ready to go fishing.
Yeah, yeah. If your definition of mingle is going fishing,
I'm your guy.
he's accepting applications.
So Cameron and Houston were fishing out of Cameron's boat, and I was fishing out of my
Okay.
boat. And so what we were kind of doing was we had a little side bet going of
Course we did.
whoever caught the biggest fish of the day doesn't have to get up and get their own beer the next time we all hang out together.
Aha!
So
Play a little beer.
Houston ends up
Big,
winning it.
yeah.
He catches a 7. Cameron catches one that was just 18 inches, like just over 18, and went almost 5 pounds.
Oh, that's a fat girl. Yeah. Oh, fat girl. Man, he thick, boy.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and we didn't weigh mine. I threw mine back before. I don't think mine and Cameron's would have been close, but I think he probably would have beat me.
Yours was longer, but
mine was longer, but his was bigger.
Got it. Got it.
But yeah, it was a good day. We got
caught some quality fish. Everybody did. That's awesome. Quality fish. How'd y'all catch them?
I caught mine on a Hags Tornado in trophy hunter color, Texas rig.
Imagine that. You like that old bait. I know you do.
Houston caught his on a Texas rig baby brush hog. His big one.
So y'all just Texas rigging?
Cameron caught his on a chatterbait.
Fishing points? Fishing what we fish? Points?
Main lake points and secondary points.
Main lake and secondary points. Nice.
Yep.
Very nice. Well, you know, Lake Fork's been fishing pretty good this week too. It's we've had some days where the bites were limited, but man, the quality of fish that we're catching just, man, it's really good. Like, we're catching some really nice quality fish just about every day. Of course, the one day that we actually had the most numbers of bites, we didn't catch any big ones.
Right.
Isn't that the way it usually goes?
Well, you'll get that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that happens sometimes that way. So, no, it's a good time of year to be there. Now, of course, we're dealing with rain all week this week. I don't know how this is going to affect. We'll have to kind of wait and see. I would think with all this rain, it's going to be time to get your swim jig, get your frog, get your flipping rod, and maybe your chatterbait if you got some outside grass lines, which we do right now on Fork. Get those shallow baits ready. This rain, this cooler weather, cloud cover, it's going to drive. You know, these fish some are out deep already, but not a lot. Some are, a lot are still up shallow, a lot are in between transitioning. Well, all those transitioning fish, if we have sun and heat and calm weather, it takes those transitioning fish and pushes them out deep.
Mm-hmm.
But this week we've got clouds and rain and cooler weather, so it's going to take those transitioning fish and push them back shallow.
Mm-hmm.
So as we progress throughout this week, you guys are hearing this on Tuesday. By the time you're fishing by the end of the weekend, it's supposed to rain, be cloudy all week. By the time we get to the end of the week and the weekend, I would think the shallow fishing would be the far better option this week. Next week it might be the deep.
I'd have to agree.
It can change really fast this time of year. Those fish want to transition from one to the other, and there's a lot of fish caught in between. And whatever the conditions are that week, you're going to have some of those fish push back into that situation. So that's kind of what's going on current condition-wise. You really have to be on your toes in May. You got to be prepared to fish in 2 foot of water, and you got to be prepared to fish in 32 foot of water, based on the conditions. And a lot of days, honestly, most days, if you're really dialed in, you can do a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a little bit of both every day. But I think this week we're probably going to spend most of our time shallow. I will be a grass hound all week this week, I would think.
I've been looking at the extended forecast for the upcoming week, and swim jig and frog on Lake Palestine is probably going to happen.
It's going to be a good opportunity to throw that new 6-inch frog that I got. You know what I'm saying?
Jealousy.
Jealous.
Pure jealousy.
I can't wait for those to get released so I can have more than one.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
My customers, they're wanting to throw it. I'm like, nope.
We cannot do that. We cannot
Here's
throw
a
that.
Spro.
Yeah. I hear you, man. Yeah, that 6-inch frog is...
No, I've let my customers throw it, but it's, we only got one of them right now. So if they, when they start biting it, it's like, well, that one guy's going to catch them. The other guys.
So, since you only got one right now, you throwing it on steel cable or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I hear you.
Throwing it on whale rope.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely. So there's the current conditions, man. And I want to get into this fantasy draft deal because, dude, viewers, let us know. Also, besides your vote at the end of this deal, drop us a comment and let us know what you thought of the fantasy angler draft that we did. Man, let's get into this deal. Let's do the traditional best 5 stringer.
So we're gonna go alternate
tournament. I'm gonna let you take the first pick, and then I'll take the next 2.
We're going BASS first, correct?
Yes, best 5.
B.
Or FLW, whatever, just best 5.
Okay.
Traditional.
Okay. So I'm up first?
You get to go first.
All right. So do you want specific dates, or can we do like first week, second week, third week of
early, mid, late month.
Okay.
So early March, mid March, late March.
Got you. All right. For my first pick for best 5, I'm gonna go.
Wait, how many tournaments are we doing? We're doing 8 tournaments.
8 tournaments.
Okay.
And here's what you can do. You can go from January to December. You can skip a month here or there if you want to.
Yeah.
However you want to do that.
Yeah.
So, however you want to structure yours, as long as there's 8 tournaments.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah.
All right. So for mine, my first tournament, we're gonna kick off the year in mid-January On Lake Falcon.
Let's establish one thing. We don't have to pick our tournaments in the order that they'll happen. Your first round pick can be in June, and your second round pick can be in February.
That's fine.
So pick the tournament you want the most, no matter what time of year it is.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Are we allowed to have a tournament the same month on the same lake?
Are me and you? No.
Okay.
Once you've had a tournament and month picked, a lake and month, you can't use that same lake and month. That's the deal. You can't use.
That's
you
fine.
can use that lake, but
That's
you
fine.
can't use it that month.
Same month. Okay.
And you can use that month, but you can't use that lake.
I'm still going mid-January on Lake Falcon.
Mid-January on Lake Falcon. Okay. I'm gonna go late March on Lake Fork.
I like that.
Of course, Lake Fork's going to be my first pick. And guys, if y'all saw what happened on the MLF, let me just tell you, if them suckers would have been here 2 weeks later, bro.
You said you said mid-March on Fork?
Late
March.
Like the last 5 days, last 5 to 7 days, maybe just late March.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So for my second pick, I'm gonna go mid-April Fork.
Mid-April Fork, not bad, not bad. Catch bigger fish in March though, just let you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Just let you know. No, that's, I mean, obviously you can't go wrong. For my second pick, I have put no thought into this.
I've done a little bit, but it's lakes that I'm not familiar with.
Okay, I'm going to take my April tournament, and we're going to go to Santee Cooper.
Early mid-late.
Let's go mid.
Mid?
We're going to Santee Cooper.
April? Santee, that's a pretty solid pick there.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to pick twice.
Are we not just going back and forth?
No, we got to do a snake. That's the only way to make it fair.
Okay, then go ahead.
So I was supposed to have 2 picks. It's fine.
So go ahead and make
I'll make
pick.
my second pick, my second pick in a row now, and then you'll have 2 in a row. And then, so
Yep.
we'll each start having 2 in a row. So I want Guntersville in June.
Good. Early mid-late.
I want Guntersville in early June.
Early June?
Yeah, boy. You know what goes down.
Guntersville.
You know, dude, they got that grass bite and they got that ledge bite getting hot, dude. Can you imagine that? Like, that would be dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty.
You're gonna be mad for my Guntersville pick. Well, maybe not.
I'll take Gunter. I picked Gunter. Hey, I was picking Guntersville at any time of year I wanted to, and I took it in early June. That's the number one. That was my number one time that I would.
Number one.
Like, if I had any time of year to go to Guntersville, it'd be I want to go when I can go bust them on that ledge and they're fresh and they're not just totally monkeyed up yet. They're still early in the year.
Right.
And I want to also have that grass option, and I think early June is the deal for that.
That's fair. Not bad. All right. So for my third, now do I go? I go 2 now.
You get 2 now.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go late February, and we're going to Big Sam.
Oh, yeah, you did me dirty right there, bro. You did me dirty right there.
And then we're also gonna fish early October on Guntersville.
On Guntersville. Go get that frog bite.
That's right.
Trying to go get that frog bite. I know what you're doing there. I see you. I see you with
Well,
that frog bite.
I've had the luxury of being out there
that time of year.
And it was awesome.
Yeah. I know. I figured you were going. When you said that, I knew you were going October on Guntersville. I knew you were.
Fished that Oakley Big Bass in 2015, I think it was.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
I knew that's what you were doing when you went there. So I've got a late March on Fork. I got a mid-April on Santee and an early June on Guntersville. Oh, let's see. I really like that late February pick on Sam. I mean, dude, they just caught those giant stringers there that time of year. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
I was really thinking that after you said Santee Cooper in April, I really thought you were going to go that route. I'm glad it's.
I probably should have. I don't know why I got hung up on the Guntersville. I was just thinking about Guntersville, and I knew you liked Guntersville because you've been there, and I wanted to get my Guntersville pick in before you did. It was my strategery right there. You know what? I'm going to go July on I'm torn between St. Lawrence and St. Clair.
Which St. Lawrence?
Well, there's St. John's in Florida. It's St.
Oh, that's
Lawrence
not
up
St.
north.
Yeah, you're right. St. Lawrence in New York.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get me a good smallmouth gig, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get me a good smallmouth gig. So, I'm going to go St. Lawrence.
Okay. In
late July.
Late July. St. Lawrence River.
And we have no sympathy for the travel on our tournament anglers in this deal.
None.
We're not caring.
No. Well, I mean, mine are going to love me up until, the first part of the year, mine are going to love me. So.
All right, I got another pick.
Yeah, I know.
I got another pick. So, I'm going to go outside the box, and I'm going to have to do some splaining, Lucy.
Well, explain away.
Because I don't know that they've... What time of year was that Paul Elias Falcon tournament? Wasn't that summer?
That was in summertime.
So that's the deal. I'm going to go Lake Falcon in August.
Not a bad pick at all.
And for the people that are listening that may not understand what goes on there, it gets so extremely hot down there that those fish group up in the biggest schools you could imagine. What's coming down outside? The rain's coming.
Yeah, it is.
Those fish get these huge offshore schools, and every fish in the lake's doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Every fish in the lake can get caught the same way.
They're all
and when they
the same
get
structure,
in those massive offshore schools, the weights, the bags that you get. I mean, listen, the all-time record is that Paul Elias tournament. It is a summertime Lake Falcon tournament.
That's right.
It don't get no hotter in Texas in August.
And he caught them 2 different lakes.
It don't get no hotter in Texas than August, and so that's when those fish are going to be grouped up the most. And yeah, will there be some dead water and it may be a little hard to find some of the schools? Yes. But the guys that find them will find the most massive schools of giant bass they've ever seen in their life.
I mean, we're talking about schools of 7-8 pounders.
Or bigger.
And bigger. Yeah.
Or bigger.
Right.
Like insane stuff.
But it's nothing, like that time of year, it's nothing to roll up on a school 8 pounders and have 15 and catch 16 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but it's not 15. A lot of times those schools that time
right.
of year might be 40, 50, 60
right.
fish schools of big bass, just huge schools of big bass that you just don't really see because the extreme weather situation puts them in there. So
I'm going to go are you saying mid-August?
Yeah, sure, mid-August. Mid-August, Falcon. Yeah. And then now you've got 2 picks.
Lake Falcon. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. Since we're fishing mid-April on Fork, I'm gonna go ahead and go with late March on Toledo Bend.
Nice. Yeah, the problem is me and you're going to have a lot of the same lakes on this deal.
Yeah.
Because we are from here and fish a lot of the same stuff.
It's going to basically be the Southwest.
Go ahead, bro.
All right.
Got another one.
And so I'm going to go.
By the way, I've been to Lake March on Toledo Bend a lot of times, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's when y'all typically take y'all's trip, right?
Yeah, bed fishing, just go around and just go old school fishing and catch them up.
Mm-hmm.
Catch them up.
See, I've never actually fished there, but I've heard enough stories from y'all's group that used to go every year where I kind of know what you get.
It becomes a deal where it's a lot of bed fishing going on.
Right.
But Toledo's a good enough lake you don't have to bed fish to catch them. You can catch them on a frog, you can catch them weightless
right.
plastics, catch them on little swim bags pretty good that time of year. Like, you can catch them a lot of different ways.
All right, so I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I've done a little bit of research on this. We're gonna go early May. God, my handwriting's great, isn't it? On the big O.
Early May on Okeechobee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. Alrighty. Not mad at it. Let me review my list here. So I've got late March Fork, mid-April Santee Cooper, early June Guntersville, late July St. Lawrence, mid-August Lake Falcon. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Man, golly, what other lake do I want to do? I've got my last 2 picks because you've already used those lakes, so I don't need to use them yet. So there's some strategery going on right here. That's a real word, by the way, folks. Strategery. Yeah. So my last 2 picks are going to be a Rayburn and Toledo deal. So I've got to find one more lake that I want to do. And I've got a early June on Gunnersville and a late July on St. Lawrence. So I'm going to go a late June Kentucky Lake.
Very good.
Late June Kentucky Lake. And I know Kentucky Lake is not as good as it once was, but man,
the ledge fishing.
Man, when
incredible.
those fish get on them ledges, it's still really, really good. Like really
I've got
good
something
pond.
Similar for my June pick.
Okay, now that was my.
So you got.
I got another one.
You got another one.
Okay, so my other one is going to be. I'm going to go late May. Toledo Bend. We're going to get that offshore Toledo bite too. If you notice, I'm picking a lot of tournaments where guys can do both.
Yeah.
Where everybody can fish their strength, because I think that's going to lead to the best bags. All right, go ahead. You got some.
All right, so I'm going to go late June, Pickwick.
Oh, golly. Can I change mine?
Nope.
Can I change one? Can I change one? I got to be able to change one.
Why?
You make your pick, and if it doesn't interfere, I'm changing one.
We don't play mulligans.
And we're going to do a mulligan.
Okay.
This is my podcast. I'll make up the rules.
I do what I want. All right. I'm going to go early August.
Where are you going?
Cayuga Lake.
Oh, God, there's so many good lakes out there. It's so hard to think of this stuff on the spot. Okay, so I'm definitely mimicking your late February Rayburn pick. I'm going to go early March Rayburn.
You want to do early March Rayburn?
So you can put that in the number 8 hole there. And I'm going to change out.
You're going early March Rayburn and then late March on Fork?
Yeah.
Damn it, boy.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It's short travel.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. 2 best lakes in the state of Texas.
So early March.
Rayburn.
March Rayburn.
Yeah, and we're going to scratch that late May on Toledo Bend. Just scratch that Toledo Bend part out and put Chickamauga on there.
Ooh,
we're going to go late May Chick. So, look here. All right, so this is our deal. Now, I'm going to sell mine first, and then you get the chance to sell yours second. So, here's how my deal starts. A, we're not doing this January and February stuff. Nobody's freezing. We're going to go early March, Sam Rayburn. You have late February, so that's going to be pretty similar tournaments. But early March, Sam Rayburn, I mean, obviously, that's the time of year, like we said, they pulled out those big 40-pound, even had a 49-pound bag on Texas Team Trail, like crazy stuff. So we're going to start in early March on Sam Rayburn. Awesome tournament, that would be. Awesome tournament. We all know what that would be. We're going to go to late March on Fork. It would be, for a best 5 especially, it would be an even better version of what we saw with MLF, where these guys would just catch giant.
I mean, how many times we say if they were a week later, what would have happened?
This year,
right.
Well, it was 2 weeks. If they would have hit that next wave of spawning bass, it was like stupid, because then they could do it. You know, some of those guys that were wanting to fish that main lake shallow structure could have got on that deal too.
Yeah.
So we're going late March on Fork. Then we're going to go all the way to the East Coast in mid-April. We're going to go hit Santee Cooper. If you look at these lakes that I'm picking, you've got Sam Rayburn, 49-pound Texas Team Trail, single day, best 5 bag. Unbelievable best 5 fishery. Lake Fork, 110 pounds in 3 days with Keith Combs in 2014, 115 pounds in 4 days last year with Brandon Cobb. They haven't had very many opportunities to fish best 5 tournaments on Lake Fork where they count everything. Obviously, Lake Fork, late March, that would be huge stringers. Santee Cooper in mid-April, one of the biggest best 5 tournaments as far as total weight goes. I think it's the second biggest of all time, behind Falcon, was at Santee Cooper.
That's right.
That time of year. Sight fishing, baby. Sight fishing. No better time to sight fish than mid-April, and that's when the big bags were caught on Santee Cooper back in the day. If you don't know about the old Santee Cooper tournament from, like, when was it, like 2008, 6? Something
Yeah, I
like
was
that?
in high school, so
6 maybe? I don't know.
something like that.
It was somewhere in there. That Santee Cooper tournament was, look it up and check out the YouTube. It's unbelievable event. So we're going to go from Santee Cooper in mid-April. We're going to turn around, and we get a little break here. we're going to go to late May. We're going to Chickamauga, which might be the best big bass lake in the country the last few years.
Yep.
Maybe for best 5 stringers.
For best 5 stringers,
and
yes.
just trophy bass. And Chickamauga, again, late May, you're going to be able to go fish ledges. You're going to be able to get up in some grass. You're going to have a 2-way go on that deal. And you'll see that theme repeated because we're going to go from late May to early June. We're going to go to Guntersville, which is right down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little quick turnaround, but short. So I did think about travel.
Yeah.
I told myself we weren't thinking about travel, and then I started thinking about travel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're going to go from Chicken late May. We're going to Guntersville early June. Same deal. Both legendary fisheries, both big bass factories, both have grass, both have ledges, and they can do both. Then we're going to go in late June to Kentucky Lake, all on the same little, man, we're hitting that Tennessee River, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? The deal is Texas and the Tennessee River have kicked out the best 5 tournaments we've ever seen of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the one Falcon event. Like, those 2 areas,
And then you'll have a Florida lake here and there.
East Texas
Yeah.
and the Tennessee River, have traditionally kicked out the best 5 tournaments we've seen over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to Guntersville in early June. Then late June, we're going to Kentucky Lake. We talked about that. That's going to be a ledge deal. I don't think that's going to be.
Ledge
I mean,
fest.
there'll be some shallow fish, but you're going to win that deal on the ledge. That's going to be a sure enough offshore.
Can we call it Ledge Fest?
Ledge Fest. That's it. I like it. Ledge Fest. And then we're going in July. We're going to the St. Lawrence River and going to whack on some smallmouth. Like whack on some smallmouth. Then to wrap it up, at the end of the year, we're going to go to the place that kicked out the best tournament, best 5 4-day tournament that's ever been kicked out, Lake Falcon, and we're going in August when the schools are the biggest they ever get.
In Zapater.
Bro, I'm talking about, I would literally probably donate my firstborn to get to fish that schedule.
That'd be a fun one.
Like, not even in a tournament, just let me go fish that schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to those places that
Let's
time
just see
of
what
year.
I can do.
Man.
So I'm gonna throw a curveball. After I get done explaining mine, we gotta pick our classic.
I like it. What time of year? But the classic has to be same time of year. What time of year are we doing the classic? Are we doing the January, February classic? What are we doing? What time of year are we doing the classic?
I say we do January, February, because typically that's what we know.
So you can pick either one, and there's no restriction on we can do the same time of year, but you can't do the same lake.
Right.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Okay.
And I believe, I guess I'll have first pick, won't I?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
All right. All right.
Well, you had first pick when we started this, so I
Then
think
you
I
can
should
have
get
first pick.
Okay,
That's
I
fine.
get first pick on the
That's
class.
fine. All right, so we're going to start out my little trail. We're going to call this Hammerfest. That's what this trail is called. It's called Hammerfest.
Hammerfest.
So we're going to start out in mid-January on Lake Falcon. Now, Billy already talked about what happens in the summertime on Lake Falcon.
January, they're spawning.
January, they're spawning.
Yeah, it's
and
fun.
so it's liable to get real dumb real quick.
You get up there and just go flipping,
Yeah.
throw a little swim bait,
Flip
throw
all
a
the
big spinner
shallow
bait.
trees. Big
Yeah.
spinnerbait comes into play. You can catch them on a frog in January.
The
on
only
Falcon.
thing that I would say that you have to worry about in January on Falcon is if the lake is low in January,
It's tough.
you know what I mean? Like in August when they're on offshore stuff, it doesn't matter if the lake's low or not.
Right.
But in
Right.
January, it
does
needs to
take
be up a
some-
little bit. Which hey, for the record, it usually is
Usually.
up a little bit in January. Yeah,
It typically gets low in the summertime.
that's right.
Whenever it doesn't rain for.
Well, and it can be low. Like it's a relative term because Falcon can swing anywhere from 20 to 60 feet in a year. Like it can drop way, way, way up and down. So it's crazy. So
I mean, I know my cousin fishes bass champs and all that stuff out there at Bunch.
yeah, I know
And,
he's from South
and he
Texas,
said
yeah.
it's nothing to go catch fish in 80 feet of water on the
That's
dam
crazy.
and stuff like
That's
that.
crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, so we're going mid-January Lake Falcon. We're going to go catch some spawners. And then we're going to go to Big Sam Rayburn in late February, which
We essentially
Billy
have
already
a similar
explained that.
tournament. Yeah. That's essentially a draw for us because that's going to be a very similar
Right.
tournament with each other.
Right. I mean, early March Rayburn, late February Rayburn, I think you're going to get just about the same
It's going to
results.
be pretty close to the same.
All right. And then from there, we're going to go to late March, Toledo Bend. Should have the first wave up.
Oh, for sure on Toledo Bend.
Should.
Will be for sure. No, 100%. Listen, if you're going in late March, 100,000%. The first, probably the second or third wave is up. Like you're spawning, dude.
Well, all I know
That
is
time of year on Toledo Bend, they're spawning for sure.
Well, I also know that in late March, y'all catch a lot of numbers with some pretty good size mixed in.
Well, that's because Zach throws that dang wacky worm religiously.
Well, I mean, ain't
I
nothing
don't
wrong
always
with it.
catch numbers at Toledo Bend because I go down there and go sight fishing, throw swim bait.
I also know the big swim bait comes into play late March.
Nobody throws big swim baits on Toledo Bend.
Nobody in the world. All right, and then from there, we're going to go mid-April on Fork. Now, the only reason I went mid-April and not March this year was because...
Because I stole it first?
Well, that too. That too.
Yeah.
But I also know how good
April.
the fishing was in April.
April's the most consistent month on Fork.
Correct.
It's the most consistent month.
Right.
Like, newsflash, my MLF pick will be April on Fork.
Right.
If you don't beat me to it.
Right. All right, and then we're going to go there to early May on Okeechobee. Topwaters, swim jigs.
Yeah.
And you can start punching that stuff.
You can start flipping. You can always flip at Okeechobee, but you got frog bite. You got, I'll tell you what else exists that time of year is a lipless crankbait, chatterbait bite on some offshore grass.
Yeah.
That's a thing out there when you start getting towards the summer. So I just am not real familiar. It seems like every tournament I've ever seen on Okeechobee on the best five, the big trails, has always been
in the wintertime.
Early in the year,
January,
February. I've never seen one that time, so I'm just not real sure. But I mean, I can imagine what it would be.
I would imagine the numbers would be up there, and with the amount of big fish in that lake,
yeah,
you would just think that. I don't know. It's a
I
possibility.
mean, it's not a bad pick at all.
It's a question mark, but at the same time,
it's not a bad pick.
I've looked up a couple tournaments, like not pro tournaments, but I've looked up some weights for some
local derbies.
Right.
Yeah.
And they
catch
pretty
it.
good.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go from there in early May, and we're going late June on Pickwick.
Damn.
Ledge.
Love it.
Ledge.
Love it. Love it.
For those of you who aren't aware, Pickwick is a ledge lake, and schools of 5 and 6 pounders happen.
Yeah.
On ledges.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's another Tennessee River. I mean, I had 3 Tennessee River picks around that same time, so
right.
I get it.
And then we got a little break. We got a month break, and then we're going to go to KU the Lake in early August.
Love that. I love that.
KU the Lake in August. I mean, there's a reason it stays on the schedules that time of year.
It's awesome
currently.
lake. I love that lake.
So, no real need to explain that. And then we take another break, and we go to Guntersville in October. Now, that was kind of a homer pick for me, just because I've been there
that time of year.
That time of year, and I've seen what goes down.
It, like we talked about, I think on the last episode, it's going to be really interesting to see these tours fish in the fall that we've never seen before.
Right.
Like these guys coming to Fork in November.
Yeah.
Dude, if they hit it right and like they get the right little weather trend and they get those fish really feeding up like they do.
We're talking about records.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff that could happen, it could be insane. Now I will say this, it could, the bigger fish more consistently show up in the springtime than they do in the fall.
Correct.
But it doesn't mean we don't catch them bigs in the fall too.
Right. And when you're talking about some of the best fishermen on planet Earth.
And I'll tell you this too. Those fish will weigh that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Those fish will have, by the time they get to November, a lot of these fish will have some weight. Whereas like when Bassmaster came here last year in May, some of those fish had some weight to them, but a lot of those fish were poor that they were catching. They were post-spawn. So
hadn't quite started gorging up yet.
Yeah, and early November, a lot of those fish will be starting to really get some weight on them.
Yep. All right, Billy.
Where's my? Oh boy, I've been listening to your list. I ain't been thinking. So I got to do a classic. I got to do a classic, a Bassmasters classic. Something that I think is important when you're doing a Bassmasters classic is not just the fishery. The fishery is important. But some of the best classics we've seen, it's about the venue as much as it is the quality of fishing. You got to have the right venue for the expo, for the fanfare, for the Super Bowl of bass fishing to really be what it is. You've got to have the right facilities and the right setup kind of deal, I'm not sure which way I want to go on this. If you've got something in mind, you can pick yours.
No, I'm still kind of thinking because I was thinking the same thing. Like
the venue's important.
It is important because you want to be able to do. Not only do you want to have a great event, you want to have as big a turnout as you can for the fans.
We're doing January, February.
January, February.
So I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go mid-February and I'm going to go to Grand Lake, and that is simply because one of my favorite Bassmasters Classics that I've seen was when Edwin Evers came back and won on the last day at Grand Lake. And we don't have Grand Lake. We don't have any Oklahoma lakes on this deal. And Grand Lake is a phenomenal fishery. It's a phenomenal winter fishery, full of quality fish. You know, are you going to catch a 12-pounder there? No, you're probably not. But, dude, you're going to have some big bags of fish. And it's going to be a shootout because everybody's going to, you know, a lot of guys are going to catch some really quality bags.
I was thinking Grand Lake heavily. I really was.
I like it.
I really was.
I'd love to see it come to Fork. We just don't have it's not a venue. We don't have the facility.
Yeah.
You know, Grand Lake, they can access Tulsa and have venue.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's nothing really, there's nothing in Quitman. There's nothing.
No, there's nothing.
Emory.
They would have to go all the way to, like,
Mineola.
Frisco or Dallas or something.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. Okay.
No, there's nothing in East Texas that could hold a classic type of event. They'd have to go all the way to Dallas.
Harvey Hall and Tyler would be the closest one.
Still not even close, bro.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That'd be the biggest venue.
Or the Oil Palace.
Or the Oil Palace,
It's not even close. It's not even close.
Huh.
And it's still far away.
Yeah.
Like,
Still
that stuff in Tyler
15.
is still far away from Fork, you know?
Man.
Stole you thunder there, homie?
Yeah, I was leaning really heavily on Grand Lake. I just didn't know if I was going to go late January, early February.
There's a reason that classic has been. I'll tell you one I'd like to see that they never go fish tour level tournaments on that I would love to see them do, and they could do a classic there because it's close enough to Shreveport. It's Caddo. Caddo would be an amazing place to have a Bassmasters Classic because it's close enough to Shreveport. That would be awesome. That should be your pick. Your pick should be Caddo.
No, I'm gonna go to Tennessee River Lake.
You're gonna go to Tennessee River Lake. Which one are you gonna do? Do Chick. You ain't done Chick.
Yeah, I was thinking about because you could.
Of course, I don't know the geography that well over there. I don't know how close Chick is to a major city. I don't know. You gotta pick something, bro. You on the clock.
No, I'm going.
We're losing listeners right now.
No. I'm gonna go with what I know. I'm gonna go early February, Lake Guntersville. I mean, it's.
So you're going to Guntersville on your tour, and you're going there for your classic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, folks. That's the end of the Best 5 tournament. Start dropping in the comments who you think won. Whose tournament trail would you rather view?
That's actually a pretty dang good. That's pretty competitive right there.
I smoked you.
You think so?
I don't know.
Guess we'll find out.
I mean, obviously, I think I won or I wouldn't have picked them. You know what I'm saying?
I do know. I know what you're saying.
We got to reload this and do round 2, fantasy draft.
Round 2 for BPT.
MLF. And I get first pick in this, and you get first pick on the Red Crest.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, the Red Crest pick is going to be wild, ladies and gentlemen.
When are we doing Red Crest? Same time, because we did the Classic same time. So we got to do the Red Crest January, February. Yeah, we're doing January, February on Red Crest as well. Since that's how MLF is doing it now, they're putting it like right up against the Bassmaster Classic now.
Which, not a terrible business strategy.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I don't see any problem with it. I think it's great. Have big events like that early in the year. I think that's awesome.
You know what I think also too? I think with them competing, gosh dang, I can't count. Doing 8 tournaments as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 again.
So what I think's good about them scheduling and trying to basically get competitive with their scheduling is I feel like there's a lot more thought going into the scheduling now. You know what I'm saying? As far as times a year, what legs.
Yeah, instead of, a lot of times before, I think it was never really come out, nobody ever came out and really said it, but I feel like in years past on these tour level tournament trails, it was essentially whichever city would pay us the most money to host the event, that's where we go.
Yeah, I called it a safe pick, but yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
right.
kind of what happened.
It was revenue generated.
Yeah,
100%.
the towns that were paying them to come were where they went. Now there's a little bit of, okay, we want to get these towns to pay us, but we got to have this competitor,
Mm-hmm.
Listen, competition's good for everything, like, as far as making things better. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a baseball player, because you were a baseball player,
mm-hmm.
and you were a pitcher,
mm-hmm.
well, if you're throwing to a bunch of, high school 3A run-of-the-mill baseball player, if you're pitching against them and you're a really good pitcher, you're going to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be good. But if you pitch against a bunch of national level travel ball select guys, you might not dominate, but you will be a better pitcher.
That's right.
Like, you will become a much better pitcher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you play up to your competition for sure.
Competition makes everything better when you're talking about competition.
That's right.
You know, the better competition will drive you and make you better.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to do, we're getting a little long on this one, so we're going to do this one a little bit faster, hopefully. But we're going to do our MLF format. Every fish over 2 pounds counts. It's 2 pound minimum.
We're doing 2 pound minimum.
This is 2 pound minimum. Every fish over 2 pounds counts.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do 8 tournaments. And I'm going to pick Lake Fork first because Lake Fork's my deal. And I'm going to pick Lake Fork in. I'm going to pick Lake Fork in late May.
Late May.
It's the best numbers time of year on the best big bass fishery out there. You'll catch, dude, we catch a ton of bigs in May, but man, we, you know, when it's not doing what it's doing outside right now,
Yeah.
which is crazy weather.
Newsflash, we got a tsunami.
It's flooding outside right now. This microphone's really good, so you're not hearing it, I don't think, but like it is flooding outside. When it's not doing that, May is the month that we just catch by far the most numbers of fish. By far.
You feel like Ashton Kutcher, you're just punking everybody.
You can catch them however you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about earlier, you got to be prepared to do both. You can do both. Like guys, there would be guys in that tournament that would have a school of fish in 25 foot of water, and that same guy would have a school of fish on a grass line or up shallow somewhere in 0 foot of water.
That's right.
And that you get to see it all, and it would be a madhouse race to see how many fish you could catch on Lake Fork every day in that event. It would be unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are so good, man. I couldn't imagine on every fish counts over 2 pounds how fast those guys would be fishing in May.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
they would be fishing fast.
Covering water.
Yes.
And not just covering water, catching a lot of dang fish.
Right, exactly.
All right, so I'm going to go a little different route here.
Okay.
I'm going early August, and I'm going to Falcon.
That's a great pick. You stole that from me, man. You stole that from me.
I would love nothing more to see somebody roll up on a school of them bigs and catch every single one of them.
Like, he caught 100 pounds in 37 minutes.
Yeah. Like, what just happened?
That would be insane, bro. That would be insane.
So do I get another pick?
You get another pick.
Okay, I get another pick. I'm going to go... I'm going to go late April. I'm going to go to Eufaula.
Okay. I'll go late April, Sam Rayburn.
That's a good pick.
Again, fish off beds. Man, just numbers of fish and quality mixed in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could just literally go buzzing down a bank, flipping a Texas rig and catch 45 or 50 fish in a day on Rayburn that time of year. You can get out like we did when I was there. You can get out on a grass flat. And we had cold front. Like, we were terrible cold front conditions.
Yeah.
But I got out on a grass flat and caught like all of them on the chatterbait. You know what I mean? And like a lot of fish over 2 pounds. A lot of fish. Rayburn, the difference between Rayburn and Fork, will Rayburn kick out a one-off big bag? Yes. Will Rayburn kick out a 13-pounder? Yes. Rayburn is a numbers lake, though. Like, I don't know if people realize that. Most people that go to Sam Rayburn and fish it, they're going to catch a high number for a big lake, fishing. They're going to catch a high number of 2 to 3 pound fish, right? With your 4-pounders and 5-pounders thrown in there every day, then on the right day, you're going to get those really big ones. And if you're really dialed in and you're a really good fisherman, you're going to have a 7 and 8-pounder pretty consistently. And then those giants are kind of, every once in a while it happens.
Right.
Whereas Fork is more of a, you're not going to catch as many numbers, but those 7+ pound bass are much more consistent.
Right.
Like, everybody can catch 7-pounders on Fork when it's fishing good. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Not the case on Rayburn.
Right.
You know what I mean? These guys would, because they're the best in the world.
Right. So you get another pick.
I got another pick.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have so far? I've got
Yeah,
late May and late April, Rayburn and
Mhm.
Fork. Man, I've got to get off this Texas thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm just picking all the Texas lakes. It's just
Dude, it's hard for me not to. Also,
it's what I know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what I know.
Well, how many
I'll
points
tell you
have
what
you-
I got it.
Go ahead.
I got it.
Come on with it.
I got it. We're going late June, Coosa River. Ha! How about that for MLF over 2 pound tournament? Let's go catch a bunch of 2 to 5 pound spotted bass. Catch 8 million of them because they're spotted bass.
Even spell that.
Coosa, Coosa. Dude, dude, that's the best MLF tournament we've come up with right there. Because them spotted bass are so easy to catch. They're dumb, like they're crazy dumb.
Them Kentuckies will chew.
Well, these aren't Kentuckies. These are Coosa River spots. They're like 4 pounders.
Mm-hmm.
They're not Kentuckies. Kentuckies wouldn't make the 2 pound minimum.
Ooh.
But we're going to go to that Coosa River and we're going to catch the biggest small spotted bass in the world, and they're going to bite in numbers. Let's go. Tell me something good. I see your wheels turning.
Hold on. Do you not have another pick?
That was my second pick. You've got 2 now.
Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna go to. Ooh. We're gonna go. So I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to my guys for the travel, but we're gonna go. Now you know what? We'll go mid-April.
Where are we going?
Clear Lake.
Clear Lake?
Yep.
Nice. That'd be a good best 5 pick right there.
Yeah,
It's not really a numbers fishery.
No, but
I'm surprised none of us picked a California Clear Lake. We didn't pick any California lakes in that.
I know. But I got another question. How come they don't have a bunch of tournaments in California lakes?
Because of travel?
Yeah, but gosh dang, dude. Just think about this BPT format in some of those lakes, or even.
I think the best 5 is much better suited for California. I don't think the Bass Pro Tour, the MLF format is not
you
suited
want to
for
talk?
California.
You want to talk about some spots now?
Because well, yeah, but those are, I mean, that's different, dude. Those are
Right.
like 9, 10 pound. That's trophies. Everything in California is geared towards big bass. So best 5 format to me is much better suited for California than numbers format.
Yeah, true.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't believe we didn't have a Clear Lake or a Delta or something on our
Yeah.
other schedule. That's that's
Shame on
an
us.
error on our part.
Shame on us.
We should have.
all right. I'd like to make some changes.
No mulligans.
All right, so I get another pick.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go. God, we go mid and late April. You followed a Clear Lake. Sorry, guys. We're gonna go to late May.
Where we go?
We're going to Lake Athens, Texas.
You're gonna put 80 boats on Lake Athens.
You dang right.
How are you gonna put? You can't do that.
They do groups.
You're gonna put 40 boats on Lake Athens.
Yeah.
The only reason they did Lake Athens is because they only had 10 boats that last day.
I understand.
You get more than 10 boats of professionals on that lake.
They're gonna catch them all.
It's not gonna hold up to it.
You don't think
can't,
so?
You can't fish 5-6 days on Lake Athens.
How many times have
40
you?
boats
How
a
many
day.
times have you gone to Lake Athens and people are parking damn near on the bridge?
No, I understand. You can't put 40 boats of the best anglers on earth on little bitty Lake Athens. You can't. I mean, that's your pick. If you want to make it,
Well,
I'm
I'll tell
just
you
trying
what.
to help you here.
All right. Well,
Like, you could do like a East Texas deal where you hit Lake Athens on your last day of your tournament like they did when they were here. That's cool. Like, that was really cool, you know? But
I just think that they don't school anywhere like they school on Athens.
they school
in
up
May.
on Lake Athens.
Especially in May.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, so we'll go a different route.
I monkeyed you up, didn't I?
You did a little bit.
We'll get you a fork pick in there. You got a
I'm
fork
fixing
pick.
to. I'm gonna go late March fork.
Late March fork. Not bad. I'd have gone to April.
I've already got 2 tournaments in April.
Oh. You're running out of room in April.
I gotta tell you what, guys, we're gonna fish 3/4 of our schedule in April.
I'm going to tell you where I'm going to go is, what times of year have I done so far? I've got
May,
late
April,
May,
June.
late April, late June. So I could mix in something there. And where I'm at, I'm at Coosa River. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go late March on Sharon Harris. That
Ooh,
North Carolina
Sharon.
fishery that the MLF has had so much success at last year, and they're supposed to go again this year, but I don't think they're going to get to now. But you know, Lake Norman, all that that group of lakes they fished last year at that North Carolina tournament. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
So you get another pick.
I got another pick. I'm really trying to consider the fact that this is every fish over 2 pounds counts.
Yeah.
So I want everybody catching fish. I want everybody catching good numbers of fish.
This one's a little bit tougher for me because we've only seen this now.
It's newer.
Yeah.
It's newer.
So it's definitely a different way of thinking.
So I'm going to go...
I'm going to have to look up.
I've got late May. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go early June. I'm gonna do a little something different. I'm trying to get outside my comfort zone here a little bit. And I may be hurting myself on this draft, but I'm trying to get outside my comfort zone. So I'm going to do early June. Which one's that blue herring lake? Is that Hartwell?
Yes.
That's Hartwell, right? In South Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. I want that blue herring I want that blue herring lake where they chase around those schooling bass on them blue herons.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Herring, I should say, not heron. Blue heron's what we use for the shad spawn.
That's right. That's right.
Herring, blue herring. So yeah, let's go early June on Hartwell. Let's get some fish chasing some herrings around, and let's go hunt them down and catch them in numbers. I like it. That's that pick. So now you get 2.
What was the name of that oxbow lake that they fished in Vidalia, Louisiana?
I don't know.
Wheeler ended up winning it. It was.
Of course he did. Didn't he win everything? Yeah, pretty much sure he did. I don't know. I don't know.
Jacob Wheeler, would you like to start playing the lottery for me? Because you
Yeah,
win everything.
He wins everything. All he does is win. I don't know.
I'd have to look that up. It was the one where him and Takahiro Mori got into it because Talk moved in on him.
No, that was the North Carolina deal. That's the one I just picked. The Sharon Harris chain or whatever. All the Lake Norman Sharon. That was the North Carolina
Oh, I
tournament.
thought that was in Louisiana.
Yeah. No. That's the one I just picked. Boy,
you been
trying to steal my stuff.
No, this is the one where they were throwing in them cypress trees.
Yeah. Dude, those Carolina lakes have that.
No, I know, but
so does Santee Cooper.
No, I'm thinking of the Louisiana one. Anyways, nonetheless, sorry viewers.
Yeah, this is painful to listen to.
I guarantee you.
We got to make some picks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go early July.
Okay.
St. Clair.
Nice. Very nice. Oh yeah. That's a good pick, bro.
Yeah.
That's a real good pick.
And
you've got one more pick.
I've got one more. Yeah. Let's go. I got early August on Falcon. You picked late April. All right, let's go early May. Rayburn.
May Rayburn.
May Rayburn.
That's a good pick.
A good thing John Cox ain't fishing this trail.
Yeah.
That dude's always dialed in on Rayburn. Always.
Or just wherever they go.
Or just any lake that he drops his boat in.
Yeah. He's so good. Let me see what I got here.
See what you got.
Man, I'm really trying to stay out of the Texas deal this time because I did so, I feel like I'm being a little racist.
Geographist?
I'm being a geographer. I'm being a little Texas biased on my picks here. This is tough, man. It's
hard
tough.
not to, though, because...
And then the deal is, you pick these lakes, and then you think of something else later. You're like, oh, God, why did I pick that,
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes.
I'm going to wake up out of a dead sleep tonight and be like, I should have picked that.
I know. I can't believe, the KU deal. Oh, I got it. I got it. We're going... I got my 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are going to be summertime picks. We're gonna go late July. We're going to Cayuga Lake. Then we're going to go in mid-August. We're early. We'll call it mid-August to the headwaters of the Mississippi River.
Ooh.
La Crosse, Wisconsin. We're going to Cayuga Lake in late July. In mid-August, we're going to La Crosse, Wisconsin, baby. To the Mississippi River. You talk about some frog fishing, Jack.
I guarantee you.
You talk about a lot of fish over 2 pounds.
What'd you say? What time in August? Mid-August. And we're going where? La Crosse?
La Crosse, Wisconsin, Mississippi River.
Yeah, frogs. All frogs.
Well, Cayuga is going to be everything, but that La Crosse, Wisconsin, that's going to be frogging heaven, Jack. You know, we say that. Do you remember several years ago, though, when Polnick got DQ'd for fishing a part of the river he didn't know he couldn't cull in that part of the river, and he just made a mistake, and DQ'd himself. But, like, him and Tommy Biffle, both in that term, were catching them on, like, some current structure. And there's been, like, everybody thinks of the frog deal up there with all those massive grass flats in the backwaters of that Mississippi River and the headwaters. But there's been some tournaments where the guys that have succeeded have fished, like, current breaks and little subtle structures.
Those guys find everything.
They find it, dude. I'm telling you.
Everything.
They find it. They find it all.
Let's go. So now that I feel like I gotta compete with you here. I'm gonna go. Late June on Hartwell.
Oh, you got your Hartwell. You like that pick. Good.
I do, because I don't remember.
I just know it can be like, and not everybody's going to catch them. Like, there's going to be guys, and that's the one thing about it that I almost didn't pick that, because there's going to be guys in that tournament that miss that herring deal that aren't going to catch them very good. Yeah. But the guys that dial in that herring deal and land on them are going to rack them up quick.
Well, the name that comes to my mind is like a Stetson Blaylock type angler, you know. Yeah,
but he's not on the BPT.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, well, I mean, there's.
I'll tell you, the guy that did it out there was old Jason Williamson. That's his deal. He won I think he won an Elite Series tournament out there, maybe. But that, that's like his home lake, and dude, he had it dialed in, and he just stroked him out there.
All right.
Last pick, man. Good.
Last pick. This is tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
This is real tough.
Because you're trying to not just repeat the things you've already done. It's tough. Let me slap you in the head with my big giant worm that I'm swinging around here.
Nope. We're going early August, and we're going to. Lake Erie.
Lake Erie. Nothing wrong with that.
I like smallmouth. Mainly because I've only caught 2 in my whole life. And the 2 I caught were like 12 inches. And they were awesome.
Let's see my list there so I can get the time of year right here. I've got early June, late July. I've got early June, late June. Okay, I'm gonna go mid-July. Mill Lax. Mid-July Mill Lax. I'm gonna get my smallmouth fix in right there. How about that? Great smallmouth fishery. It was the #1 lake in the country a few years ago.
It was.
Unbelievable smallmouth fishery.
So Red Crest.
Well, we've got 2 things we got to do here. Because we've got Red Crest and we got to do a heavy hitters.
Oh, I forgot about heavy hitters.
So I'll get to go first on Red Crest. You get to go first on heavy hitters. And you get to go 2 in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So heavy hitters.
So my Red Crest has to be in January, February. Is it? Can I make it multiple lakes for my Red Crest for different days? And can I reopen a closed lake?
I already know where you're going with this.
Can we do East Texas Power Plant Lakes for Red Crest in January? And we'll just hit Monticello one day, Wells the next, Martin Creek, Brandy Branch, and then we'll wrap it up.
On Monticello.
Like, we'll do 2 days on Monticello, we'll do 2 days on Wells, then we'll do Martin Creek, Brandy Branch, and then the last day, we'll just go on over to Fairfield. But we need to reopen power plants. We need to reopen gates.
Big Brown, we need the tilapia back in there.
Yeah, like, can we get some redfish mixed in for our viewing pleasure back at Fairfield?
So hold on.
Obviously, we can't.
In
do
the
that.
Red Crest, how many start fishing the Red Crest?
You know, honestly, I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't even know the format of it.
I want to say, there's definitely a cut line, but I don't remember exactly how it works. I want to say it's 40.
I don't know. Another thing, this is another one where you got to think of venue.
Right.
You got to think of venue. So, let me see my schedule so I can pick me a good Red Crest. I got Lake Fork, Rayburn, Coosa River, Sheridan, Harris, Hartwell, Cayuga, La Crosse, Mill. Well, I got a lot of northern stuff on this one. So, I didn't do anything in Alabama. And Alabama is the home of the Bass Pro Tour, so this would never be a real Bass Pro Tour schedule. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, man, I'm going to go for my Red Crest. I'm going to say that since we're fishing it in January, I'm going to go late February, okay? I'm going to go late February, and we're going to go to Guntersville. Because we've seen that chatterbait, lipless crankbait, jerkbait. We've seen that classic on Guntersville kick out some amazing, amazing tournaments. And for my Red Crest, I'm not so concerned with everybody catching a lot of fish.
Oh, because it's January, February.
Well, that's a factor too.
Yeah.
But if I'm making a Bass Pro Tour schedule, I want to go places. I want to go places where guys can catch big ones like Fork and Rayburn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I also want to go places where everybody in the field can catch good numbers of fish because we're counting every fish over 2 pounds. So we have the spotted bass fishery, Coosa River. We got the school and bass on Hartwell. We've got Cayuga. We got La Crosse Mill. These are all places where everybody's going to catch 2 pounders.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. And Fork and Rayburn are too at that time of year.
Right.
But they also have the big fish factor. But for my Red Crest, I don't care. I want it to be on a hammer hole. I want it to be, it's pre-spawn. It's January, February. It's going to be late February on this one. I want it to be a big bass. I want the big bass factor there. I don't want guys to be able to just target 2 to 3 pound fish and win in my Red Crest.
Yep.
In my Red Crest. So for Red Crest, I'm going Guntersville late February.
Guntersville, late Feb.
Now, heavy hitters is normally in the summer.
Yes.
Like this year, they're doing heavy hitters in June. So let's say that our heavy hitters has to be in June.
Okay.
Now, let me make sure that works for what
I got 1 June, and
I've got 2.
You've got early and late, so you're gonna have to go mid-June.
That's fine.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pencil you in for mid.
But you got to make your 2 picks on lakes before I can pick.
Right.
So your Red Crest, January, February. Where are we going?
I'm going to. I'm going late February, and I'm going to Grand.
Stole my pick from the other crew. Biting on my style, dog.
No, you was mid.
Sorry, I stole your Rayburn pick on the last one.
Yes, you did, boy. God dang it. So heavy hitters is going to be in June.
Heavy hitters are going to be in June.
So I got a late June. So I got early and mid June.
Let's just both do mid-June, just to make it the same.
We'll both do mid June. I like that.
All right, where are you going for your mid-June heavy hitters?
Mid June heavy hitters. I want to go. I'm going to the Delta.
Ooh, I like it. 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 Well, that's a.
Because again, just like you said, heavy hitters. I don't care how many fish I'll catch.
And heavy hitters is 100%. Doesn't matter how many
Yeah.
fish you get. Yeah. Now you want them to be. You want them to. That's the whole deal. You want them to be catching bigs. I'm gonna do chick.
Not a terrible pick
I'm
at all.
gonna do chick in mid-June. It's reasonable for the rest of my schedule that they can get there from South Carolina to Alabama. It's not the worst drive. Yeah, pencil me in for chick, and then I'm gonna let you sell yours first, and I'll sell mine last this time.
All right. So we'll start. We started late this year, fellas.
It's numbers, dude.
Yeah,
it's numbers. That's the deal because we're
know.
taking more numbers.
We started mid-April at Clear Lake. I like it because of the big fish factor. I know there's not going to be as many fish caught, but I feel like the quality of fish is going to make up for the.
I mean, Clear Lake's a great lake.
Yeah.
You don't have to really defend Clear
Right.
Lake. Like, it's a great lake.
Right. So then we go late April to Eufaula. Eufaula has numbers, and it's also got big fish. and you can catch a lot of fish on Eufaula. And especially late April, you should be able to start getting on some of that offshore type stuff, along with some of the stuff still shallow.
Debatable, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. We actually started late March on Fork. My bad.
Okay, you started late March on Fork,
Which
obviously
no need for explanation.
we've discussed that. We've discussed that. That's awesome.
All right, and then from Eufaula, we're going to
Early May.
on Rayburn.
Nice. That would be a great MLF tournament. Like
It's Sam Rayburn.
that would
in
be
May.
a great every fish counts tournament.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And then we go to late June on Hartwell. I mean, they're gonna be schooling.
Yeah. No, we both basically got the same tournament there.
Right. Early July, St. Clair, smallmouth.
Well, first your heavy hitters was mixed in there in mid-June.
Well, heavy hitters on the Delta.
So let me say. So we're going to early June to Rayburn.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to swing out next week. We're going to go to the Delta
Which-
from Rayburn.
Which it's as close to Rayburn as any other lake that I've picked.
Okay.
In my defense.
Then we're going to go from the Delta the very next week. We're going all the way to the East Coast to Hartwell.
Yep, that's right. We're
These
making a
were-
big triangle.
Do we have like some C5 planes we can fly these bass boats around on? Is that what's going on your tour?
No, man.
We can like airlift these bass boats from one side of the country to the other?
No, you just better get there.
Just
You just better get there.
hammer down, boys.
That's right.
I'm talking about Red Bull.
Yeah, that's right.
Drink a lot of Red Bull and get to
I
driving, man.
guarantee. So heavy hitters in June on the Delta. Arguably one of the best big fish
Oh, that would be awesome.
corners of the
that'd be
country
awesome.
ever.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Then late June on Hartwell. We
Late
talked
June,
about
Hartwell.
that. Yeah. Then July what? St. Clair?
July on St. Clair.
We're gonna go to St. Clair.
We're gonna catch some smallmouth. Hold on. So on Lake Erie, I'm gonna go mid-August because I already had early August.
Okay.
Alright.
So you're going from
So
July on St. Clair, early July on St. Clair, then we're going to go early August.
on Falcon.
So we're going to go from St. Clair to Falcon,
Yeah.
and then we're going where?
And then we're going. Then we're going to Lake Erie. Obviously, travel was not a thought.
It's so bad. That is the worst travel schedule.
This will be the first tournament schedule where people actually sleep in and miss their flight
Oh,
because
God.
they're so tired from traveling.
You're going to be the first person to kill half of your field by travel accidents. That's so bad.
Hey, your entry
You go-
fees are paid for.
In 1 month, you go, yeah, you can afford extra gas money
That's
because we
right.
paid your entry fee.
That's right.
So in 1 month, you go from Rayburn to the Delta to the East Coast to Hartwell. Then in another month, you go from St. Clair to Falcon to Erie.
Hey, in my defense, if you've ever watched some of these guys' YouTube channels, they travel a lot more than you think. So they're used to it. So I don't hear no complaining.
Bro, I don't think anybody's quite used to that schedule.
No.
That's insane.
Hey, if it ever comes to fruition, we'll find out. And then my Red Crest, late February, Grand Lake.
That's a good one.
Grand Lake is excellent in February.
Yep, that's the same thing I picked for my classic on the
Yeah.
other trail. Yep, that's good.
So.
All right, there's Chris's trail. Now here comes my trail. Again, we are going to start a little bit late. We're going to start in late March. And we are going to go to that North Carolina, Sharon Harris,
Mm-hmm.
wherever all them guys were. I don't even know all the lakes they were on. I just know they went over there and whacked them in the BPT format last year.
Mhm.
So I wanted that on my trail. And if we wouldn't have had all this COVID, Corona stuff, we would have seen them fishing again this year
Mm-hmm.
because they put it back on the schedule because it went so well. So I think that's a really solid start. Big bass factor there. Numbers, guys caught them really well last year. Great time of year, late March, obviously. Okay, then we're going to take off from the East Coast. We'll give them a month to travel. We're going to go to Rayburn in April. Late April at Rayburn, okay? Talked about it a little bit when I picked it. Man, lots of fish. You can kind of just go down the bank and catch 2-pounders. And as good as these guys are, as efficient as they are, if you give them a lake where they can just go around and flip and throw a swim jig and catch 2 pound, like they're going to catch them all. And the deal about Rayburn is they're going to mix in them big ones.
That's right.
That's the deal. And then we're going to go from easy travel schedule here, late April on Rayburn, to late May on Lake Fork.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, best time of year for numbers on Lake Fork is mid to late May. You've Shad spawn is kind of faded. You usually got some brim. Shad spawn's not over this year. We're in late May. We're in the last few days of May here.
It's still going.
Yeah, shad spawn's still. We've even still got some fish on beds, but we've got the offshore deal going too. And in most years, the offshore deal is really going well by the end of May. But man, that shallow grass bite, they're starting to group up on that grass and chase shad around. And man, Lake Fork in late May. Obviously, I get a little bit more passionate about that because it's the home lake. But dude, it is unbelievable. Like the fishing is so consistently good for numbers of fish. It's the best numbers time of year on Lake Fork, right there. Late
Bar
May.
none, hands down.
Hands down. Okay, so that was late May. Now I've taken it really easy on my guys. We had East Coast, and we had a month to get to Rayburn, not unreasonable. And then hell, we had a month to get from Rayburn to Fork.
Mm-hmm.
Like them guys just got a East Texas vacation to fish all these little lakes on me.
Mm-hmm.
Treating them well. And we're gonna get to June, and we're gonna make them earn their.
Y'all don't listen to him trying to sell you on that.
We're gonna make them earn their keep because in late May we're gonna fish Lake Fork. Turn around and go to early June. We're gonna go back to the East Coast and go to Hartwell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
a jaunt.
That's a jaunt.
Mm-hmm.
But we got 3 tournaments in June, which is always tough when you got 3
That's
in a
right.
month.
Doesn't matter where they are.
So we're gonna go over to a quick turnaround to Hartwell from Lake Fork. That's tough. Hartwell, good schooling bass. One of the better schooling times of year is going to be June. Like early June, all of June early, but early June, those fish are going to be getting out there chasing those offshore schools of herrings around. That should be a good tournament. Then we're going to go in mid-June. We're going to have my heavy hitters on Chick.
Which is not that terrible.
Hartwell and Chick's not bad.
No.
It's just the fact that we have 3 tournaments in June.
Right.
And a 4th one at the end of May. Like, that's
Right.
tough. But heavy Chick, mid-June, Chickamauga, heavy hitters, Chickamauga, like I said, arguably, you could make an argument for it to be the best big bass lake in the country the last few years. You can, and it'd be hard to argue against that. It's really kicked out a lot of really big bass the last several years. We're going to go to late June, the Coosa River. That is going to be, I think, that is the greatest MLF format venue that we have not seen yet. We haven't seen them go after those big spotted bass on the Coosa River in the MLF format. I think that is obviously it's hands down the best species of bass to target when you're trying to catch every fish counts.
There's no doubt about it.
Spotted bass are stupid aggressive. It's like a green oversized brim, man.
It's like everything's a competition with them.
They eat everything, dude. They're aggressive. They're as aggressive as any species of bass is. I really think that would be I think that would be like the staple of my trail. I think late June on the Coosa River catching big 4-5 pound spotted bass would be the best tournament we had the whole
That'd be a good red crest right there if they did it in
late June.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be just a phenomenal. I'm just repeating myself, but I think that would be awesome. Then we get a little break and we go from the Coosa River. We take off up north late July. Let's go hit.
Oh, you still got mid-July.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got mid-July. We're going to Mill Lacs. Mid-July, we're going to Mill Lacs. We're going to go whack some smallmouth on maybe, one of the best smallmouth lakes.
They're all pretty interchangeable, I think.
Listen, I picked St. Lawrence on the last one. You picked St. Clair. You picked it. I didn't want to pick the same lakes we've been picking, so I went with Mill Lacs. It's another phenomenal smallmouth fishery. So we're going to go mid-July. We're going to Mill Lacs. We're going to whack some big smallmouth. Late July, we're going to go over to Cayuga and we'll fish some grass and catch some greenheads. We're going to get after them on Cayuga in late July. Okay. Then in mid-August, we're going to swing right back over to La Crosse, Wisconsin, to the upper Mississippi River where the frog buttons. The most epic frog tournament fishing footage that's ever been captured has all been captured in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
That's right.
So then for my red crest, late February, I'm going to go to Guntersville.
It's not terrible at all.
I'm going to go to Guntersville where we've seen
How many times
Randy
has the
Howell.
classic? Yeah.
We've seen the Randy Howell event. We've seen Randall Tharp lose a giant in a brush pile on a 10-pounder and lose the tournament. We've seen this year, we've seen Hank Cherry catch him on jerkbait. We've seen some awesome championship level fishing on Guntersville. Never a red crisp, but the Bass Master Classic been there that time of year several times. So we have an idea of how it's going to finish.
Right.
And it's going to be good.
It's
going to be good. That's my trail. We need your vote once again.
That was fun.
Make sure when you're writing your votes that you put best 5 or MLF format for what you're voting for. Yeah, dude. The deal is we're all addicted to fishing. Me and you can sit here and talk bass fishing all day, and this is cool. I like this, and I try to do this a little more strategery, a little more. but for specifically for the Every Fish Counts format. But dude, I love the Bass Pro Tour. I love the MLF. The things they've done for the sport, I made no bones about it. I'm a big fan of what they've done for the sport, moving it to a place where our guys aren't paying entry fees, turning it into a real professional sport for these guys that are the best in the world, that deserve that. They deserve that. They've worked insanely hard. Anytime you're one of the best in the world at something, you shouldn't have to wonder where your bills are getting paid from.
Yeah.
And the MLF has done more to affect change financially for the betterment of those guys than any organization in the history of bass fishing. So I love what MLF has done. I love watching their tournaments. I enjoy watching their events more than I do the other ones. Me personally, I do. The buzzer beater thing, it's more entertaining. It's a better story to tell.
As far as a TV product, I don't think it's even close.
I don't either. I think it's way better. But that being said, I built this schedule for a good tournament schedule for everybody to catch over 2-pounders. I built the other schedule to catch the best 5 biggest bass we could. I personally would much rather go fish my best 5 schedule.
I would too.
Than this schedule.
There's just a lot of unknowns.
I'm just built in a manner that I would rather catch 4 or 5 big bass than 25 or 30 2 to 3 pounders.
Yep.
That's just my personal preference. I'd rather go try and target the biggest bass I could. I want to go to the best big bass fisheries. I want to go for a handful of bites a day, and I want to see how big of a bass I can catch. That is how I'm built.
Personally, as an angler, I would rather fish the best 5 format and the schedule that I make. As far as being a fan of the sport and for my viewing pleasure, I'd rather watch Bass Pro
I would
Tour
watch
in
that
the-
because those are phenomenal schedules.
Well, I would too, but I'm just saying if I
I
had
would
to
watch
pick,
the best 5 schedules, man. But I would rather watch this, for the format, the drama, the buzzer beater format. It's unbelievable. Like, I've said this before, but how many times do you get excited? How many times do you remember watching a tournament and being like on the edge of your seat on day 2 to see who makes the cut? But in this Bass Pro Tour, you do. It's exciting to watch. But I would love to watch this, and also the fact of the matter is the names. The names matter. It matters that you have Mike Iaconelli knocking out Kevin Van Dam on day 2 of Lake Fork. That matters. That's important as far as the TV product and entertainment value go. It's really important.
Okay.
It matters that you have Greg Hackney. It matters that you have Andy Montgomery. It matters that you have Andy Morgan and Brian Thrift, and that's important. I think.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's...
And listen, it's not that BASS doesn't have Chris Zaldane and Seth Fighter and Keith Combs,
Brandon Palaniuk,
and Gerald Swindle.
Yeah.
It's not that, but man, on Bass Pro Tour, it doesn't matter who's winning. You know them all.
Every single one of them.
There's a lot of these Elite Series events now where guys show up and you're like, who is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's guys, you're like, who is this guy? Like, dude, we're fans of this sport. Like, we can sit here and talk about tournaments from 10 or 15 years ago and remember the lakes and the time of year, and we are big time fans of this sport. And there's guys on the Bassmaster Elite Series that show up leading that we're like, I don't know who that is.
Time to fire up Google because I don't know this guy.
That matters.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
That's a factor. So, man, that's it, dude. This was a really long podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure that I whipped Chris again.
We're going to find out.
You're going to have to step up your game. Or y'all just vote for Chris and make me feel like I'm an idiot. Either way. Either way, it's all good. I can take a lump. Ain't no problem. I can take it as good as I give it.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Brother, I appreciate you putting these together, and I appreciate you kind of planning these out for us. I appreciate you doing all the stuff you do to help make this happen and taking the time to come up here and do these every week with me. And hopefully the viewers are getting some enjoyment out of it because it's fun sitting here talking about fishing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can talk about fishing all day.
Chris, do that thing you do.
Vote for Chris. 2021 Tournament Trail.